Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Well, I've got a bit of a tradition on my channel. I like to kick off every new year with a build series, and of course this year is no different. However, instead of building like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 parts caster, we're going to go a different direction this year, and we're going to do a budget build. Now this has been on my to-do list for a very long time, so it should be a lot of fun. And in the end, we're going to see if we can find something that's comparable to, maybe like a Squire or a Made in Mexico kind of Fender guitar. So we'll see what we end up with. Let's check out the parts. All right, so let's start by unboxing the neck. Now you guys probably already saw what kind of guitar this is from the thumbnail, but I haven't actually pulled the full neck out and looked at it. So we'll do that together here. And I think you probably saw in the thumbnail that, of course, it's a T-style guitar. What a way to kick off the year with a Tele. All right, so as you guys can see, it's unbranded on the headstock and it's high gloss with kind of like a vintage tint. So pretty cool. I'll just sort of unbox it with you guys as I go along. Black nut, looks pretty cool. And again, yeah, that really amber high gloss tint. Let's see if I can take the rest off here. There we go. So check this out. See if the camera will grab that. Classic black dot inlays, really high gloss. There it is. And when we look on the back, boom, Guitar Fetish. All right, so we'll take some shots for you guys as we go through this neck, and I'll just kind of describe, the neck profile, how this thing feels. Now, first of all, the nut actually looks cut really nice. It's perfectly within the routed slot, and the actual, slots within the nut look great. So that's good news. Fretwork, I'll zoom in for you guys down by, the nut here in the first few frets. I would say better than most budget guitars. You can still see a little bit of file marks and stuff in the right light. They feel nice and smooth. And when we look up closer to the 12th fret there, you can see it's about the same. So I'd say it's higher on average, at least this example, than your basic budget guitar. So that is good news. Now, of course, when you're doing a vintage build, you need the high gloss tint. And as you can see, there's no skunk stripe here. So there is a separate fingerboard that's been put on the main part of the maple neck. Classic black dots and everything, looks really nice. I'll give you guys a shot of the heel there. Just kind of rotate it. So there you can see the separate fingerboard on the base part of the neck. Yeah, so overall, it looks really, really nice. Take another shot for you guys here. There you go. And in terms of the neck profile, I would say this reminds me more of like the 80s Fender's necks. So it's still like a modern C, but just slightly thinner. And I actually really like that profile. Or maybe some of the vintage Squires, if you guys have had a chance to play on some of the old Squires. That's what this neck profile reminds me of. So sort of a modern C, but slightly, ever so slightly thinner. So should be interesting to play on. Now, I'm a man of simple taste. If I see a cheap surf green Telecaster body, you can believe I'm going to grab it. So let's check this thing out. Ah, yes. So as you guys can see, it's not routed like a typical Tele. So we're doing a Tele Deluxe build. So this should be pretty fun. Check this out. So again, this is Guitar Fetish. This is their XGP line. So I've always been curious, how good this is. Because, the prices are pretty affordable, but what is it like when you actually get it in your hand and do a build with it? So should be interesting. I will put a master parts list in the video description below if you're interested in any of these parts. So yeah, there we go. So the actual finish looks great. High gloss, surf green, and it is painted on the inside. You can see it's not painted all the way through. Like there's a few spots there. I'll see if the camera will grab that. But anyway, where, it's not painted to the bottom of that cavity. But I think we will either foil that or conductive paint. So we'll shield that. So that'll all be, taken care of. But I did notice that. Other than that, spots for the string ferrules, which I did get. So I'm not going to be left in the lurch there. So yeah, there it is. So this is the backbone of our brand new build. let's check out the rest of the parts. Now, before we get into the rest of the nitty-gritty details in terms of, pickups, electronics, all that kind of stuff, the wiring, we need to check out one more piece of aesthetics, and that is the Pickguard. So, Tele Custom. Obviously, you can tell, went with the white guard. That's always the hardest part, isn't it? White guard versus black guard. Anyway, I'll just kind of hold it in place if I can. Something like this. So this with the tinted neck and everything, I think it's going to look pretty cool. All right, so we've got the rest of the parts up on the desk here. Let's check out what I got. Boom. Let's check out the bridge first. So this is obviously a very, important piece to the puzzle. So I'll kind of take a shot of each of the parts as I go along so you guys can see exactly what I used. So I haven't taken a look at any of these parts yet, so we'll just go through together. So obviously we've got an Allen key and the screws to attach the bridge. And check this out. Brass saddles. Now they aren't compensated because we are doing a little bit of sort of a vintage style or vintage inspired build, but you know what? Looks pretty nice. Just take some shots so you guys can kind of see some close-ups here. But overall, I mean, it looks like a great bridge. So let's set that aside. What else do we got? Oh yes, let's open this. I get a lot of questions about this whenever I do a build project, and I've used this stuff for years. And one of these bottles, this is, as you guys can see there, conductive paint. So this is how I shield the inside of all of my parts casters. And I had one of these bottles, oh man, 3-4 years ago, and it did, I think, man, about 6 builds, something like that. It lasts surprisingly long. And this is so much easier than like the foil and stuff like that. Now, I don't think it is as good, but you can easily do it in any shape, and it takes like, I don't know, 1/10 of the time. So anyway, this is what I use for all my parts caster builds, and I just got a new bottle. So there you go. Let's set that aside. Let's move on to tuning machines. Now, this is, I wasn't sure about these, so we'll have to see in, practice how good these are, but I wanted to do a full budget build, so we're not doing lockers, we're not doing, high-end brand name tuning machines. So let's pop one of these out and just see, what it's like, but I'm not gonna really know until, we put it on the guitar, we string it up, all that kind of stuff. So, if I can get into this, stapled like a beast. So obviously, vintage style tuning machines for our vintage build, unbranded, but they look like, those classic Kluson style tuning machines with the small vintage button. I'll just kind of like rotate it for you guys. But like I said, I won't know until I install it. But I mean, they look okay. And yeah, we'll give you guys an update once we have the build together and do some playing. So this is our next piece to the puzzle, and absolutely worth its weight in gold. This is a pre-wired assembly with the Quick Connect system. So, I mean, these retail for, I think, between $18 and $25. Like, talk about a no-brainer. So let's take a closer look. Now, if you guys remember before Christmas, I tried out the Quick Connect system in a little bit of a pickup shootout because I'm, again, curious as to what I want to use on this build. So here it is. Check this out. I'll try to kind of show you guys bits and pieces of it. Obviously, it's a little tangled, but number one, we do have push-pull pot. And we'll talk about that in a second when we get more into the build. Let's look at the pots here. Just give you guys a shot of some of this stuff. There it is. So full-size pots. You can see alphas. Okay. And where's our toggle? Here's our toggle right here. So the toggle even is part of the Quick Connect system. So as you guys can see, it's all soldered up, pre-soldered up, and where it goes into the pot, check it out. Don't even have to solder there. There's like a little board, and when you want to connect your toggle, there you go, just like the rest of the system. And you know what, using it on that Xavier guitar kind of, put some of my fears to rest. So all of this is pre-soldered, including the output jack. So, I mean, this is going to save me so much time. Yeah, like 20 bucks. Total steal. So I think you guys have a sense of where this build is going, but now we need to talk about the main voice of the guitar, i.e. the pickups. Now, as I mentioned, I did a shootout between 5 different Guitar Fetish pickups before Christmas, so I'll link to that if you missed it, but I knew that was going to help me pick pickups for this build. So I think I've narrowed it down to the Crunchy PATs. It was between this and the Alnico 2s. Both were, you know, really great vintage voiced pickups, but these ones were a touch warmer with a little bit less clarity. But I think with the you know, that Tele twang, this will be the right choice. But, you know, with the quick connect system, I can always, you know, pop in that other set. So there it is. This is the neck version, and the PATs, I just, the Sharpie marks were from the shootout, so I didn't get confused between all the models that look the same. But anyway, this is the KPH-03. So we're going to try that first, and hopefully that's going to be the right pickup voicing for the neck. It's going to be really nice and full and warm. And of course, for the bridge, we went a little bit non-traditional for the rest of the traditional build. So let's check this out. Again, we've got quick connect system ready to go. I don't need this. Normally, if you just bought the pickup, you would solder this into your pots, but it's all ready to go. So all I'm gonna have to do is hook the wire up here, ready to rock. So anyway, here is the pickup. Check it out. We went with the rails. So I think this is gonna kick out some serious bright and biting distortion, which should be a lot of fun. So there we go. This one is the KPT-14 Little Puncher, or Lil Puncher. There it is right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's not getting overexposed. So yeah, going a little traditional and warm in the neck, but hopefully the outputs of this bridge pickup and the neck pickup will match pretty good. Again, we just have to wait and see. All right, we're back at the desk for the rest of our parts. Let's just give you guys a quick shot of what they are. Neck plate, of course, we cannot neglect that. There it is. Set that one aside. Witch hat knobs, super important if we're doing a, you know, like a custom build there. Oh, those are gonna look so good. There we go. Switch tip. Man, you would not know how many times I forget stuff like that on a build. So that's great. String tree, there it is. I'll just give you guys the codes in case you want to look them up. Yes. Strap buttons, again, always forget that. Not today. String ferrules, I'll give you guys the code just in case you're looking them up. There you go. And a bunch of screws for the pickguard. I'll have to drill those, I believe. Yes, so we'll have to drill those. I just took a quick look at the body. Output plate. And what was in here? I don't even know what was in here. Apparently I pulled something out. Oh, you know what? I think that might have been conductive paint. Possibly. Anyway. And yes, a headstock logo. Now, this one says Bespoke Custom Caster. Obviously, you won't be able to see that until I, you know, pull it off and put it on the headstock. But Guitar Fetish has some really hilarious ones. I'm just going to pull my phone up here because I was looking at them and they are awesome. So they also have a Poser Faux Caster logo, a Stooge Bogus Caster, Bespoke Custom Caster, which is what I have. If you're doing like a Les Paul kind of build, they have a custom Les Reel. So just hilarious kind of headstock logos to go along with their custom builds. Really appreciated that. I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, yes, I have the Bespoke Custom Caster. So should look great. All right, now I know this is just the unboxing video, but I gotta find out how these parts are gonna fit together. This is always, you know, a little bit nerve-wracking. Even if it's a fender body and a fender neck, there are just no guarantees how tight or loose, you know, the neck pocket is gonna be. So we gotta check out this XGP stuff. I have not done this yet, so we're doing it together. Let's see how this works. I'm just gonna, oh wow. That is legit good. Man, I was not expecting that. There is zero play in that. Wow, that's really impressive. So, okay, no concerns there at all. This is nicer than most fenders I've done. And as you guys know, I've done a ton of builds. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, good. Well, that's, you know, a little bit of a relief. I'm not going to have to do any sanding of the pocket or the neck or anything like that for fitment. And as long as the angle, you know, in the pocket is set up for the action, then we're good to go. And again, we won't know that until we string it up. But it's been pretty rare where I've had to, like, you know, sand out the neck pocket in terms of this angle, you know, to get the strings coming across. So this bodes super well. Where's that pickguard? Sorry, let me just throw this up, get a little bit of just a little bit of a vibe. Hopefully the lights aren't overexposing this. All the light colors are hard to get just right. But anyway, that's kind of a little bit of a look of what we got. Man, looking forward to this build. Now, longtime viewers of the channel might recognize this guitar. This was one of my first Partscaster projects. I started working on it even before I had a YouTube channel, but it's kind of evolved over the years. It has American parts on it, you know, TV Jones pickups, you know, official Bigsby and all that kind of stuff. So a very expensive build. So, you know, I absolutely love this guitar. So I thought it would be fun to do more of a budget version of this style of guitar. Of course, it's going to be different with, you know, the full humbucker and, you know, the single coil in the bridge and a few different things like that. But anyway, these are going to be kind of like brothers. So anyway, yeah, follow along as I build, you know, kind of like the budget version of this. So stay tuned to the channel as we build this up together. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to do so. We'll have part 2 up in the next couple of days, which should be awesome. There you go. That's the first look. Have yourself a great day.